Daniel, we'll start by having a few things on paper, and we want to hear your first reaction and reply to them. So pick whichever one you like.
Here we go. Right.
Should you read it aloud?
Favourite sport after football? That's a good question. Well, my wife's an athlete, so she actually competed for Great Britain and England, so she'd want me to say athletics, and I do love my athletics, but also, yeah, I love basketball and rugby union as well, so what would I go with? Keep my wife happy, I'm going to say athletics. I never saw it coming at all. I never saw it coming. We finished the season at Hornchurch. I think we'd captained the team that had won the treble that year, and we'd had a real success. And I picked up an injury right at the back end of the season and foolishly tried to carry on playing with it. And thinking really once the close season come that it would just sort itself out. So realised halfway through that maybe it wouldn't, and then found out that it was a bit more serious than I first thought, and as I said, then tried to rehab it and bang my head against a brick wall for a good 18 months, day in, day out, training on my own, trying to get it better, because I love playing, absolutely loved it, and it was a massive void in my life and a real disappointment to me when I had to pack in, especially at the age, because like I alluded to, I didn't really see it coming.
No. So how did you kind of recover from that though, and what made you want to go into management?
Well, it was just trying to fill the void initially. I could just feel this emptiness and this, it's like you kind of, when you love doing something and you realise you can't do it anymore, it's like a kind of a mourning period and that you go through, and it sounds like I'm making a mountain out of a molehill, but when you love something and it's taken away from you, it's certainly painful. And yeah, I had to do something quickly because I think I would have drove my wife mad otherwise. So.
And let's talk Lincoln City. They have had a 10-day rest. Well, they will have had a 10-day rest before they take on Tranmere at Sincil Bank this Saturday. Imps boss Danny Cowley believes the break came at the right time for his side.
We're pretty healthy at the moment. As you alluded to at the beginning, we've now been well, near on 11 days without a game, which I think has come at a good time actually. We can bemoan the fact that we didn't play last weekend, but it probably come at a good time. It gave us a chance to freshen up physically and mentally, which is always important. We're always trying to find a balance between fitness and freshness, and we're hoping we'll have a really fresh group come Saturday.
Cowley also believes Tranmere will pose a different threat to when they played them earlier this season.
It's an interesting topic, guys. Dan, what are your thoughts on FA Cup replays?
I think you can't deny that as magical as the FA Cup still is, that some teams still aren't taking the competition as serious as we'd like to see it. I think, the kind of bringing in penalties, even after 90 minutes, I think teams would be more inclined to play their strongest teams from the beginning.
Hey guys, so your thoughts on the departure of Theo Robertson?
I think we all expected him to leave at some point. I mean, of course, most Lincoln City players will be moved on at some point, but I think we always knew that he was a temporary solution for Lincoln once Johnny Margetts left in the summer transfer window to Scunthorpe. I think Theo was quite good, Theo Robinson. He was a bit disappointing in the National League. I think it's 1 goal in 14 games. I mean, that's not really the kind of form you want when you're chasing for the title and your star striker has 1 goal. Of course, in the FA Cup, absolutely fantastic. I mean, we saw him against Brighton. The thing is, despite scoring, his actual play still wasn't great.
No, he made a few sloppy mistakes, and just his passing and his distribution, maybe to a few balls up to Matt Reed, and maybe a bit of his running off the ball wasn't up to scratch in that game. And up until his goal, really. And he obviously won a penalty, and maybe on another day it might not have been given.
I mean, his contribution to the Brighton game was fantastic. He won the penalty, injured the keeper, and scored a goal. So fair play. But his touch was off, especially against Barrow as well. I know that was on TV, and his touch was off in that game. His finishing was off. He couldn't hold the ball up. And I think Danny Cowley wants a lot more from his star striker, and I think in the coming days, I think they will sign another striker very soon. I mean, it's not really urgently needed because they have Welling in their FA Trophy on Saturday, but they definitely will get a striker before Woking next weekend.